We have another guest in Abuja now. Still talking entertainment. We're going to switch over the conversation very quickly to him, Emeka Rolas. Thank you very much for joining us. President Actors Guild of Nigeria. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good to see you again. Happy New Year. We're going to be starting this conversation, unfortunately, on a pretty sad note. The past week, two of your colleagues passed away, Sisi Quadri and, of course, John Okafor, who we all know, and Mr. John Ibu. Whenever these things happen, it brings back the conversation about, you know, how Nollywood stars sort of dwindle towards the end of their careers or their time with us, and the conversation around healthcare, about mental health, about insurance, you know. And I know it's something that the AGN has talked about quite a bit. Where are we with that conversation? And, you know, just basically also speak on, you know, both of your colleagues who we lost.
Well, let me first of all say that on a very sad note, losing these two people at this time is something that we really feel very deep grief about. So I must say that may their soul rest in peace, Sisi Quadri and Mr. Ibu, John Okafor. Then moving on to the conversation about healthcare insurance for actors or Nollywood in general, is something we continue to educate and re-educate members to take it very seriously. Traditionally, Nigerians don't like mentioning insurance. I don't know whether because of their experiences or experiences of their parents or something like that. But right now we're understanding that the mental health of every practitioner is very key. If you start acting or producing or directing, and you have done that for the past 30 or 40 years, you consider what your brain does every day. We have had colleagues, some are having cerebral stroke as a result of overworking the brain. And most times, these people don't know that they're overworking their brain, and they don't have any health care attached. No hospital, no medical. Even when some producers will go as far as, or companies go as far as making HMOs for members, the members don't use them. I can attest for Rock TV, who in the past 8 to 9 years has been responsible for medical HMO for some members of Nollywood. But I tell you, only about 40% of the people enrolled make use of their health insurance cards. So it's something we must continue to educate our people. That is why on the 17th of March, we have one of those health campaigns in Asaba. We have mental health talk, we have insurance talk, you know, just series about talking, and then free medical checks. And then in April, we're also doing the same thing in Lagos. This is what we can do as a guild to keep enlightening our members to see that they key into these programs and keep themselves healthy.
I know we're talking a lot about healthcare, and you know, these are conversations I know I've even seen you and past presidents also talk about, you know, and the fact that, you know, the guild, or members of the guild, need to be encouraged to take advantage of these things. But I want to talk about remuneration as a whole, and you know, the industry. We hear so often, the second biggest industry in the world. You know, that phrase keeps coming up and on and on and on, and the volume of work that gets put out. And in the past, when we've seen, you know, actors go through whatever, whether it's health challenges or just life challenges, the conversation comes up with, well, they did so well in their career, what happened, you know? For someone like Mr. Ibu, who everybody, you know, basically grew up with, even if you're around his age, you've seen him over the years because of how large his body of work was. And seeing a GoFundMe, an appeal for funds, was very shocking for a lot of people. Yes, the health challenge was, you know, financially tasking, but it was still very shocking for a lot of people to say, for someone who had such a great career, to need help at a time when he should be enjoying his wealth, you know, brings to question What can be done with regards to, you know, I don't know, is it financial advice? Is it better pay? You know, those conversations obviously need to be had, don't they?
Yes. Three things are involved here. Every other time we all jump at global collaborations, continental collaborations, but we have not seen these collaborations paying off in terms of remuneration. Today, as I speak with you, no actor receives royalty nor residuals. And it is regrettable that most of these companies who make these big films here pay royalties as far as Turkey, pay royalties in UK, pay in America. Why is it difficult for them to pay in Nigeria? So actors' problem in Nigeria are caused by film producers or film executive producers who don't want to pay the actor. I make bold to say that an industry where the highest paid actor probably may be earning 3 million naira, the lowest paid actor receives nothing. And nobody's talking about it. There are production assistants, there are production managers, there are writers that in the last 5 years, they have never received more than 15,000 naira. Very shocking. So another thing is to educate practitioners to know that this is a business where you make money, not a business where you only hope to shine. So that's why we are working different committees together to approve a contract for actors. I was given a contract few weeks ago to appear in a movie, and I saw part 4 of the contract telling me that the producer reserves the right to sell at any platform in the world as long as I take part in that film. And the producer didn't say, if I'm selling, if this film is on theatrical release, if this film of VCD release, if it's cinema release, what will come to me every other time he makes a sale. And I rejected the contract. Because ordinarily, if you're producing a film and after producing the film, you hit 200 million naira in Nigeria, after 5 years of the film, a new TV platform comes from America, buys the film from you, you're the one keep making the money as a producer, then all the actors who were in that film for paltry sums remains impoverished. So it's another angle. If we are welcoming global collaborations of any sort, we should be talking about remunerations. That is why I am not one of those people who jump up that Netflix is in Nigeria, Showmax is in Nigeria. They are here, but it looks like it is all about exploitation. Because you cannot make a film of $2 million, for instance, and then people who acted in these movies or part of the workforce are just receiving paltry sums, and at the end of the day, when they fall sick, what do? It goes so bad that even an actor has an accident on set, the producer didn't cover if the actor didn't cover. All of these things, Nollywood has to sit together and put themselves together and say, this is the standard practice for our industry in Nigeria. So if you are coming from anywhere in the world, whether you are coming with $700 billion, you must work according to our style, what our criteria is in the country. And then that's how a movie industry grows. If not, we will spend another 100 years here still crying the same thing, just like all other sectors in Nigeria, where you have an oil sector that will have refineries, but we cannot refine oil. And then we have to take our oil out of the country to refine. The worst now is that they are quickly collecting Nigerian contents here and there. All the actors who appeared in those contents, they were paid either nothing or little, and then these contents are used to make money in different countries of the world, and we are not protected. So it's not enough for people who are running the industry to keep running abroad to bring in these investors without telling them, if you must invest in our country, these are the criteria.
Okay, just leading on from that now, on a final note very quickly. Last year, we did see two major strikes go on in the United States of America, the writer's strike and the actor's strike, which basically held Hollywood down for months and months and months until, issues were resolved. Back here, it always feels like the Actors Guild has existed, has a good number of members, but we never see that sort of strength. And a lot of people have said it's probably because a lot of the younger, and I use that very loosely, actors don't seem inclined to want to be members of the AGN. And this is a debate that has gone on for a while now. How does that start to happen, where every actor who decides to act in this territory has a member of the Guild? Is that something that needs to be done, or does the way things work now work for you?
Very quickly, that was why during the press conference of the 5th February, I say that while we were in solidarity with the Screen Actors Guild of America, SAG-AFTRA, when they had strike against the big studios in LA, most of these big studios, as at that time in question, were in Africa, taking contents. And the average actor in Nigeria who just only sees money and does not see it as a career is quickly walking back to back to submit these contents to these big studios who already have set up where they make their money online, on the internet, and in all the spaces where you make money. Now we are beginning to educate our members. It is high time we started to picket these big studios. They built big studios, start you out, put you in an environment where you think it is the world for you, but you are not protected. So every actor who must act in Nigeria has to belong to the Actors Guild of Nigeria for us to begin to make the impact against these big studios and producers who are quickly and gradually entering into us. Mind you, in space of years now, the AI will come into Africa. So all of these characters now who think that they have made them big will be replaced by AI. And we're educating our members on the disadvantages of just thinking that you are an actor and that you're the best. No guild can control you, or nobody can control you. So the strike will come, but we are putting our house in order before we go out there. So we are gradually closing in on all of these shenanigans happening. We are working inside of us to ensure that the Actors Guild of Nigeria meets to the global practice. Because after all, we are affiliates to the Federation of International Actors, and things are working on well towards that direction.
All right, thank you very much. I wanted to ask a final question, and if you have just 20 seconds, what role did the AGM play in Mr. Ibu's health journey? I mean, Sisi Quadri, unfortunately, I think it was more untimely with Mr. Ibu. We did see sort of a protracted health challenge. Did the AGM play any role in helping out? Very quickly, very, very quickly.
Sure. For 3 years. For 3 years, AGM continued to play very significant role to take care of Mr. Ibu. Not only Mr. Ibu, all other actors in the guild who had health challenges. It was just that the time he blew out differently, so many interests had to come in, and then for us to maintain our corporate image, we decided to just stay clear. But we're still, sourcing for funds from underground, talking to some other corporate Nigerians to contribute directly to Mr. Ibu's account. And even while this happened, we know the role we're going to play in arranging the burial, just like we did for Adame. It's unfortunate.
Thank you very much, Emeka Rolas, President, Actors Guild of Nigeria, and of course our condolences once again to the families of Mr. John Okafor and Sisi Quadri, who unfortunately passed away this past week. Thanks a lot for joining us.
President. Thank you, Ebuka. Thanks.